You know, I'm a big fan of Marlon Wayans. I want him to win in everything that he does. So, did he in this? Well, let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my The Curse of Bridge Hollow Netflix movie review. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, guys, so like I said, this is The Curse of Bridge Hollow, a Netflix movie that is on the streaming platform right now. And like I said in my intro, I am a big fan of Marlon Wayans. And when I saw the trailer for this, I was like, okay, this looks like silly. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, but I hope it's not too over the top. I mean, I do love Marlon Wayans. I mean, I will pretty much see anything that the man is in, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everything he does is pretty good. The last time I checked, if you look at his filmography, he had one film called Sextuplets that was on Netflix. I could not finish that movie. It was just that bad, and it just put a bad taste in my mouth. And so that was kind of one of the last things I remembered him performing in. But I did do a review on Respect that he did with Jennifer Hudson last year or the year before that. It came out, last year in 2021. He did a great job in that role playing her husband, Mr. Ted White. It was a complete departure to what I'm used to, knowing that he can act, but he just never really takes on serious roles. It's always goofy and he's screaming and hollering and acting silly. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but you don't want to see that all the time. But if you do see it, it has to be funny, and it wasn't in Sextuplets. But he was great in Respect, and if you haven't seen that movie, I strongly recommend it. Now, this is also being directed by Mr. Jeff Wadlow. This is what the gentleman looks like right here. Unfortunately, he did direct the train wreck Fantasy Island that came out 2 years ago in 2020. I did do a review for this film on my channel, and I'll just go ahead and say, guys, I thought that was absolutely one of the worst movies of the year. It was absolute trash. But if you like the movie, if you still want to go check it out, I mean, you can. But I thought it was absolutely garbage. He also directed Truth or Dare. I don't know if you've seen that before. A lot of people crapped on that movie, but I kind of had a decent time with it. I did not like Kick-Ass 2. That was a huge step down from the original Kick-Ass. But he did direct Never Back Down in 2008, and I really did like that film right there. So kind of a mixed bag, and we're going to get into whether or not he did a great job in this film right here, The Curse of Bridge Hollow. Now, also, we have Kelly Rowland in this film. I'm a fan of her music. I loved her in Destiny's Child, but the last time I remember her acting was in the Freddy versus Jason movie, and she didn't do good in that movie, so I was kind of skeptical about that. But this young lady right here, Pariah Ferguson, I have seen her pop up a few places here and there. Didn't really pay attention, but I got good vibes from her, and so she was something that I was looking forward to as well. But this gentleman right here, John Michael Higgins, he's hilarious. Every time I see him, he makes me laugh. He's playing someone named Principal Floyd. So you have a black family. That's something that I always look forward to seeing, and I am a fan of Marlon Wayans, like I said. And then you have a fun, silly, adventurous Halloween movie. Seems kind of fun to me. Let's do it. But before I get into all the nitty-gritty, before I talk about all my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what this film is all about. A teenage girl who accidentally releases an ancient and mischievous spirit on Halloween, which causes decorations to come alive and wreak havoc, must team up with the last person she's want to in order to save their town, her father. All right, guys, so the first thing that I did like about this movie is the family. Marlon Wayans with this young lady named Pariah and Kelly Rowland. They are a nice black family on screen. They look great. They sound great. I just love when I see black love on the big screen. And so if that's just something that you want to see at a minimum, check this movie out at home on your couch on Netflix, and I think you'll have a good time. The next thing that I liked about this movie is it is only 90 minutes long. I mean, right under that, to be honest with you. I love my 90-minute movies, especially when they're able to reach their full potential as far as developing all the characters, telling a coherent story. And I think we got that in this 90-minute movie, and the film did give the promise that it provided in the trailer. This is a nice, fun, friendly family movie. It is for everyone, no matter what age you are, old or young. I think you will have a good time. And there is a nice adventure aspect to it. It does go back in history a bit, telling stories from the past, and some of the characters do have to use their brain, their noggins to figure out the puzzle to save the day. And anytime you do that, it's always fun, especially when they knock it out the park with the execution, and I think they did that here. Also, I really love that Marlon Wayans' character Howard is really passionate about protecting his family and providing the best for them, as any father would. They're now in this new town, Bridge Hollow, coming from Brooklyn, of course, that he just wants the best for them. He's really into martial arts and science. He is a science teacher, and he is trying to protect his daughter. He's like, no, education is important. Education is key, but not only that, I'm going to make you learn karate so you will be able to defend yourself, and I'm going to be able to get on board with that all the time. There's also a running gag in the film with Kelly Rowland's character, Emily, because she's not the best cook, and I like everything that they did with that, especially how I circle back in the end when she's trying to protect herself from some certain decorations that are coming to life. I mean, and all the supporting characters are pretty fun too. I mean, when the crap finally hits the fan and people are realizing what's going on, they step up to the plate and do what they need to do, which is necessary. They each have their own distinct personality, but it's brought out in the fighting, in the self-defense, and that does make for a lot of comedic moments. Like, oh my God, this zombie just bit me. You're gonna have to kill me, shoot me in the face. What are we gonna do? A lot of characters are acting and reacting in certain ways like this. That's just one example, and I found it funny and I was laughing. Also, with Marlon's character Howard, he's a science teacher. I love the way he used science to also fight off some of these demons that are coming to life. It was funny, it was silly, and I said to myself, this is exactly something that I would do, so I was able to relate to that 100%. But the action is pretty dope. I did like it. There's a number of times where Sydney, the daughter, she has to get a shovel and defend herself. We got some gunfire in this. Fire breathing, people are using brooms, chainsaws. I mean, I liked all that. Marlon Wayans' character Howard had a nice, great superhero moment that was just dedicated to him, and he shined as bright as the sun as he should, and I liked that. That was a high point in this film, and it was just good seeing Marlon Wayans doing his thing. But it was a fun movie. I mean, it's something that you can sit down and concentrate and actually focus on, or have it playing in the background while you're cleaning or just want to pass some time. I mean, it's just nice, innocent fun, and I really don't think you'll have too many problems with it. However, I did, and I'm going to now talk about some of the things that I really didn't care for in the film. The first thing is that we have this character right here, Miss Pariah Ferguson, which I spoke of earlier. I like her. I like her as an actress. I think she did a phenomenal job. But this is a black girl. This is a teenager. And she was just doing some things in this movie that I did not feel were realistic. She wants to go explore in cemeteries. She wants to play with Ouija boards and conjure dark magic. I'm just being honest. I have never met any black girl or woman in my entire life that wants to do any of those things. Black people do not like to play in cemeteries with Ouija boards or conjure any types of dark magic, but apparently in this film, they wanted to have this character do that. And I said to myself, there is no way the writers of this movie could be black. We know the director isn't. His name is Jeff Wallow, and we've already talked about him. But the writers are Todd Berger, Robert Rugen, John R. Moyer, and again, Todd Berger. I looked them up, and all of them are white. I'm just being honest. I don't think any black writer, male or female, would have black people playing in cemeteries. I just clocked out kind of early in the film, 20 minutes, of saying this is completely unrealistic to me. Another thing that I did not like about this movie is part of the family dynamic. While it was a nice family, I kind of thought that the daughter and the wife ran over Howard just a little bit, and it made me upset. There were a number of times where I wanted him to just kind of put his foot down and be like, no, this is what we're doing. But it seemed like his daughter wore the pants at times, and that really did rub me the wrong way. They also had this family court system, and it seemed kind of silly. I mean, if you want to have fun with that, when you're trying to make decisions in your family on things that are not that important, like where we're going to eat for dinner tonight, but it seemed like it took over too many decisions in their whole family, and that did kind of rub me the wrong way too. Also, at times, they would emasculate Marlon Wayans' character Howard. When there was action, when it was time to defend themselves, he would go into a corner and ball up. Now, there was also some superhero moments that he did have earlier with some chemicals and also with the chainsaw, which was dope. And he did save the day at the end. But it was just too much back and forth. Sometimes they would show his character strong, but then sometimes they would show his character as weak. Make up your mind. I didn't like the back and forth. It was rubbing me the wrong way. Yes, he did saved the day in the end, but it was just a mixed bag for me. I kind of wanted them to be a little bit more consistent. And also, I understand that Marlon Wayans' character is a science teacher and he does not believe in the hocus pocus, magic, demons, and all that stuff. But there was just too many times where he was being willfully dense. It took him too long to be convinced, okay, this is a real threat right now, and we need to take this serious. This is not a game. I know that science cannot explain this. That just took too long, and it was a bit annoying. But other than that, guys, I really did enjoy the film, and I had fun with it, and I think you will too. And I strongly recommend you watch it either by yourself, whether you're on a date or you have your family with you. I will give my rating for this at the very end, but for now, guys, that is just my opinion, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe to my channel, you can get some of the recent videos I did upload on my channel, like my Halloween Ends movie review, my Atlanta Season 4 Episode 6 recap, my She-Hulk recaps, also House Party, and my Megan trailer reactions. I also posted my Raising Kanan Season 2 Episode 9 recap and review, and also my review on the Netflix series The Watcher. All that is on my channel right now, so go check that out. But if I had to rate The Curse of Bridge Hollow out of a 1 out of 10, I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. Yes, a 7 out of 10. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.